Hey everybody, welcome to another Riding with Seeker. If you guys are new to the channel, don't know what the series is, it's basically my rawest videos. There's no editing or cutting of any sort, and you can see that by what's going on in the background. I will say though, if I cough, I may cut out a cough here and there. You'll see a little blip. But anyway, this is my rawest videos. This is just me literally talking as I think, as it's coming off the top of my head. No editing, no scripting, nothing. And what I wanted to talk to you about today, what's kind of been on my mind is, basically 2021. We touched on a little bit of 2021 in the past few videos. I did one the other day where I asked the question if, I attempted to answer the question and I asked the question in the same video, if people are losing interest in silver. We touched on why that might be, what may be causing people to lose their interest in silver over 2021. Now in that video, I got a lot of comments, a lot of very good comments. Some people were kind of trolly. And then there's a lot of people that come with very, we'll say false information in those videos. I had one person say that silver's been a loss over the last 5 years, and that is not true. Even though silver has had a really rough 2021, especially if you got into the game, February, March with the premiums up, with the spot price up a little bit from where it is today. It's not been a very good year. We've talked about that already. I acknowledge that. I 100% agree. But to say that silver is down over the last 5 years, that's just untrue. Or I think he specifically said that silver hasn't kept up with inflation over the last 5 years, and that's actually not true at all. Silver's actually up over 30% since 2016. So it's been doing what we expected to do, even going back into 16. Of course, that's coming down off of, 2011, 2012, where silver was high once again, just kind of like what we saw earlier this year with the premiums up. It didn't get as high spot-wise, but the premiums were definitely up there. And yeah, you can't really say in the last 5 years going back to 16, given that in 16, silver was like in the 17s. And now, right now, as I'm recording this, it's almost $23 an ounce. It's been showing a little bit of strength this last week or so, but as you guys know, I think it's still probably going to be trending downwards a little bit longer before we see it turn around. But, I had that comment, and then the person also said that regardless of what my phone calls say, I had one guy leave a comment saying that dealers only buy back at 75% of what silver is worth. And as we know, that's just untrue. I've done many videos where I've called around to coin shops to see what they're paying for certain things like silver rounds, silver eagles, silver maples, and things like that in the past. And obviously we know that not to be true. I mean, even right now, most shops are paying spot, maybe a little bit back on rounds. Most shops are paying over spot, even if it's not enough for silver eagles, given where the premiums are. So yeah, to say that you need to gain 30 or 40% on silver to turn around and make a profit on it is just untrue. That being said, I do acknowledge again that 2021 was not a great year for it. If you got into it at the beginning of the 2021, you probably feel pretty shafted right now. But if when I'm stacking silver, and keep in mind, I want to say a couple of things first off, because I also get some naysay comments, because yes, I do have auctions where I sell some silver. I do have my website at coolstacks.com. I sell silver on there. I have my mystery boxes and my stacker boxes and things like that. So yes, of course, there is silver that I purchase with the intent of turning around and selling it. That's what I do. But there's nothing wrong with that. But I have my own personal stack of silver that I have no intention of selling. For example, the 20-ounce Kit Kat bar that you guys are probably tired of seeing in my videos, and that really cool Johnson Matthey Kilo bar, things like that. I have a lot of stuff in my personal stack that I buy with the intention of keeping and not selling. And so when you guys see like the same piece over and over and over again in videos over the years, that's probably silver that's in my personal stack. And, I have a lot of other stuff that you guys don't see on the channel that I also, will maybe bring out eventually, stuff that I bring out whenever I feel like it or have the opportunity to bring out something cool and share it with you on camera. But yes, absolutely, guys, that's what I do. I do this channel on YouTube for a living, and obviously I sell silver as well, all my stacker boxes through my website and things like that, and the auctions. So you should always, I guess when you're listening to me, and I put this in my disclaimer on all of my videos, but when you're listening to me, you should also understand that, yeah, of course, I do have a vested interest in silver doing well. But at the same time, listen to my videos. Like, what person is selling silver and then getting in a video saying, hey, look, it's been a really rough year. Like, Don't buy the hype. I tell people all the time, don't FOMO in the silver. Don't just go out and blow all your money on silver. It's a bad idea. Make sure you have money put aside for savings. Make sure you have money put aside for emergencies and things like that before you even think about buying 1 ounce of silver. Make sure that all of your ducks are in a row, that you're not in debt, or at least you're not in some sort of like really bad high interest unsecured debt like credit cards and things like that, because that stuff's more important to get taken care of. Because I'm going to tell you, it's straight up the truth. Silver should be a way to hedge money that you are interested in not losing value on over the course of a very long period of time. I'm not talking about, you bought in February and you want to make sure you don't lose money going into December of 2021, because guess what? That didn't happen, did it? But it's historically been shown, and I've done videos in the past showing that, silver has absolutely no problem keeping up with inflation over the long term. And we did this video earlier in the year where I went back into the 60s and I went through historical data. I looked at the price of goods and services, for example, eggs, potatoes, meat, gasoline, housing prices, things like that. And we went historically all the way back to the 60s, and I showed that it was better to keep silver than it was to keep cash. And so that doesn't mean that there weren't better investments. Of course, like I have said, you would have obviously been better off putting your money into Apple. You would have obviously been better off putting your money into Berkshire Hathaway or Google or Yahoo. There's a million, or Bitcoin even back in 2011 and 12. There's a million different things that did better than silver. That doesn't mean that silver is that negative thing. It just, in my opinion, the reason that I picked silver over investments, like for example, Apple, and by the way, I do diversify. I do have other investments besides silver, just in case you're wondering. But where I like to put the majority of my effort is in precious metals, because I believe in precious metals. I don't look at precious metals as a risk, because they have millennia of evidence of being used as currency, being used as a medium of exchange. Whether it's, you can call it currency, or if you just call it, hey, I'll trade your silver for some bread, whatever. They have that millennia of history. And then additionally, in the US alone, they have the history of, keeping up with inflation against the dollar. And so I feel like silver, for me, understand this, for me, I've always felt like silver's that safe investment, where I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be a gazillionaire like a lot of the people with the whole silver squeeze believed that was going to happen. I don't believe that at all, but I do believe that in 10, 15 years, the silver that I have is going to be worth the same in goods and services today as it is, as it was when I bought it, today, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, roughly. Of course, there will be ups and downs, dips and valleys that are there's going to be times where that's not the case, but for the majority of the periods, it's going to be, and it's done a very good job of doing that. And I've showed that evidence in other videos. So guys, listen, as a person that does sell silver on his website, as a person that does do auctions, you would think that it would be better served for me if my real intent was to get every penny out of every single person that watched my YouTube channel, say, oh my God, buy silver, freak out, everything, silver's going to 100, everything's going to collapse, buy all the silver. I don't do that, because I don't believe that. And additionally, it is not right for me to just get people to FOMO into silver and to just spend all their money on silver because they're worried about something that I'm putting into their head or anyone else is putting into their head. So I think a lot of you that watch this channel over the years know exactly why I stack silver and what I mean when I say that I use silver as a hedge, and that's it. So hopefully you guys understand that, you get that. But if you don't, just understand that there are a lot of channels out there that will pump silver. They will tell you silver is going to be 100, and they're not stopping just because it's been weak lately or it's been sideways. They're not stopping. I mean, there's always the next thing. There's always the next reason that silver's $100. There's always the next reason that silver's going to $200. Look, maybe it happens and I'm 100% wrong. And honestly, if silver were to go to like $200 an ounce, I mean, I would be super happy about it, because I have a stack that would make me very, very happy if it went to $200 an ounce, especially if that $200 was worth what silver's worth today, right? I mean, or I'm sorry, that $200 is worth what $200 is worth today. In other words, it didn't get to $200 through inflation, but it just got there because people traded it up to $200. Sure, I'd be thrilled. That'd be incredible. And I would probably sell quite a bit of my silver if silver really did get there And additionally, it wasn't through inflation. In other words, the dollar stayed really strong and there's no signs of the dollar, having any issues, but silver's now $200 an ounce. I'd probably sell quite a bit of it. I wouldn't sell everything. There's no way I'd sell everything in that scenario. But, on the other hand, like I've said in previous videos, if silver got to $100 overnight and it's because the dollar was collapsing, I would have no reason to sell. I wouldn't want to sell because I wouldn't want dollars. So anyway, like I said, and I know I'm getting off course, and that's why when I do videos like this, it's very raw. There's a lot of stuff that I say, I repeat myself, and so I apologize. And if you guys notice, I did pull over to the side of the road because I'm almost where I need to be. And so I didn't want to just drive around and waste gas. I wanted to finish what I wanted to say, though. But like I said, for the naysayers out there that are like, well, Seeker, you sell silver. Listen, that's right. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's what I do for a living. This YouTube channel and my website and things like that is what I do for a living. But you'll never hear me get in front of a camera and, tell you that, oh my God, silver's going to be $100 tomorrow. You better spend every dollar, because I don't believe in that. I believe in fiscal responsibility. I believe that you need to take care of especially your unsecured debts. I mean, a home loan is one thing. That's not a big deal. Usually home loans have very low interest, things like that. Maybe you have a car loan, that's fine. But if it were me, and keep in mind, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You please do me a favor and make sure you talk to a financial advisor before you make any serious financial decisions for yourself. But if it were me, I would not buy silver if I was sitting on unsecured debt with high interest like credit cards and things like that. I would not do it, because I'd be much more interested in taking care of those debts, because what's going to make you more money over time than definitely silver? It's going to be not paying the interest on the debts on your credit cards and things like that. So anyway, guys, I hope that kind of gives you an insight into what's going on with me, where I'm coming from when I'm talking to you about silver. And again, at the end of the day, I do sell a little bit at my website. And if you guys want to support the channel, if you want to support what I do, check out my website at coolstacks.com/vault, or there's a link on coolstacks.com to the vault if you want to check out the things that I do on my website, if you want to support me. But at the end of the day, I will never, ever, get somebody to FOMO into silver for my own good. It's just not something I'm willing to do. I would rather my channel shrivel up and die because I'm one of the few people on YouTube. And I'm not saying I am. There's other people that are like me. But I'm saying, let's just say we get into a world where I'm like the only person on YouTube that's trying to tell people, look, if you're going to stack silver, please do it with fiscal responsibility. Worry about the important things first. And then when you have a little bit of extra money that you don't know what to do with, when you're ready to invest it, if you want to put it in silver, that's great. If I'm the last person on YouTube that's saying that because everyone else is shouting to the top of their lungs, $500 ounce is coming, the dollar's collapsing, get your silver now, and my channel shrivels up and dies as a result, at least I'll be able to sleep at night, because I won't have people, blowing all of their money into a bad idea, into making a bad move. And I've even seen comments not on my channel, but on other channels, where people literally talked about mortgaging their house to take silver. No, don't do that. One mortgage on your house, like I said, is not a big deal. But when you're actually putting a mortgage on your house, when you're going into debt to stack silver, silver has risk like any other thing that you invest in. Whether you call it a hedge against inflation, or you call it an investment, or whatever you want to call it, it's real money, it's God's money, fine. But don't do that. Definitely don't do that. I mean, second mortgage on your house to buy silver, or even worse, unsecured debt, like I was just saying, with high interest credit cards to buy some silver. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd be shocked if you found a financial advisor that told you to go out and buy silver with a credit card, though. I'm just saying. And put yourself in debt. I mean, granted, you may need to use a credit card, but if you have the money to pay it off, that's one thing. In fact, actually, if you have a credit card, it gives you like 2 or 3% back, and you use your credit card, that 2 or 3% back can actually come back to you, if you think about it, because you're getting 2 or 3% off so long as you pay it off before you get the interest. That is, most places are going to jack up 3 to 4% on whatever you purchase from them if you use a credit card. Something I don't do on my website, but a lot of places do. So anyway, guys, I'm rambling. I'm talking too much, but this was a Riding with Seeker. I literally pulled over just to the side of the road because I can literally see the building where I'm going from where I'm sitting. And so I just wanted to pull over and, finish this talk. So guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this Riding with Seeker. If you did, do me a favor. Don't forget to go down below. Make sure you're subscribed. It really helps the channel out. If you do so, it really helps me out. and help support what I'm doing here on YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoy that. And with that said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.